Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm, the halfway homestead. On today's video, I'm really excited because I'm going to take you along as I start prepping up some food and some items that I need that I got from Azure Standard. We're going to prep up some food and we're going to take a little treat to chickens. So let's go ahead. And if you are not already, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel for these type of videos. Go ahead and press that subscribe button, press the thumbs up and the bell because that's when YouTube will notify you when I put new videos out. But I do a lot of baking, prepping, canning videos, and a lot with my backyard chickens. And you'll see this again. But look at Angel. She just decides she wants to get out anytime she wants to. Lord have mercy. Come on, Angel. Let's get into the intro. Alrighty, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some brown rice. Now, y'all know I went through a little lifestyle change, so white rice out the building. I got some brown rice from Azure Standard, and we're going to go ahead and do that in bulk. The reason that I do that in bulk is it's because it's easier. If it's just me at the homestead, or if it's me and Mom, or if it's me and Brother Chris and Sis Tara, it's all different types of rice, and brown rice takes a lot longer to cook than the white rice. So if I go ahead and prep it, then it's a lot easier come around dinner time whenever I decide to do dinner to heat it up, reheat it, bring it back to life, and add it to a protein and a vegetable. So that's what I'm doing is I'm doing equal parts pretty much of rice and water, which is a little bit different from the white rice. But I'm going to make it in my Instapot. I haven't used my Instapot since we moved, so let me tell you, I had to do a good old solid wipe down because it looked like we had moved, if you know what I'm saying. And what I'm going to add to it is I'm going to add some butter. I'm just stirring around. I'm stirring the butter that I had already put in there before I started shooting. I'm doing equal parts tablespoon of butter to a cup of the rice, and then I'm going to put some garlic powder in there as well. It's pretty basic how I do my rice. If you have better ways and ways that you really like of seasoning your brown rice, put it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to try different ways of flavoring the rice because, sometimes it can get repetitive. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to seal and make sure it's sealed, and I'm going to pressure cook for 20 minutes. What makes the rice work in the Instapot is you're going to let it come up to pressure, which is usually about 10 minutes. It's going to pressure cook. We're not talking about canning now. We're talking about pressure cooking for 20 minutes, and then you're going to let it release on its own, which is another 20 minutes. So we'll see in about 20 minutes. Until then, I want to go ahead and cut up some bell peppers. Anybody that's followed us for a while knows that we are a big old family of Mexican food. We love fajitas and all that kind of stuff. I have been very sad that I haven't had my own peppers. My bell peppers are just not really doing that great. I'll put a little video over the top of this one, how ours are doing. So we did have to go and buy, but I will say supporting your local farm stand or your local farmer's market is the best way to do it. I love multicolors of the peppers. I just think it looks really pretty in, your fajitas. So I'm doing a little bit of yellow, red, and green. And what I do is I cut it into the fajita strips, and then I'm going to put it in a bag with onions. That way, when I'm ready to do it, I'm throwing it in from frozen, y'all. So this next little shot shows you that's how I prep it in a zip-out bag. Plus, I also did a little bit of the shallow peppers so we can have stuffed peppers. All right, the rice is done. So open it away from you, and I'm going to look in. It smells wonderful. I wish there was smell cam. And I'm going to put them in these silicone molds. These are 1-cup molds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to tightly pack them in there, and I'm going to freeze them. The reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to freeze them overnight so I have little rice hockey pucks, I guess you can call. I learned this way of doing it from a channel that I have grown to really, really adore, and that is Casey and Savannah over at Hey Wanderer. I will link their channel down below if you want to go check them out, and they do the prepped of rice in the super cubes. I had these because I used to make oversized muffins for the farmer's market. So I was like, let me try to put them in here. That way I can freeze them into little cubes. And I'll tell you, Ever since I did that, I have used these rice, and it is so easy to add. It's about 2 tablespoons of water. I add a little bit of coconut aminos to give it that soy flavor, and I put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it is right back to tasting just like the rice did before. So you see that I'm packing it in good. It actually made about 8 of, no, sorry, not 11. 11. Lord, I don't remember that. I'm going to put it in the freezer so it can freeze overnight. Right now, I'm going to go check on my chicks. The Jacksons and the Williams are all doing really good. They're glad that we are not getting as much rain right now. And I think Dest is as well. And I went out to go clean the pool. But after that, I'm going to come in and we're going to go ahead and we're going to vacuum seal some meals. Y'all know that I buy in bulk for a lot of my stuff. And I want to vacuum seal them in my wonderful out-of-air vacuum seal bags. I'll have information in the description box below if you want to get some of your own. I've partnered up with them, and I absolutely love these bags. I love them. But I meal prep, so it is easier if it's just me at the homestead. You can grab it out, you can thaw it, you can put it in together, instead of opening this big old giant pack, and then you have to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of the chickens. That's also because we had a little situation where our freezers defrosted and all of our homegrown meat was pretty much down the toilet. It was awful. It made me cry. But what I'm going to do now is, you see, I'm putting in some chicken, and I'm going to backfill it with zucchini and squash that we got from our farmer's market. I cut it up again. I didn't do zucchini squash this year because I only did a very small raised bed garden. I knew that I was going to be supporting a lot of local farmers while I did this transition to the new homestead. I'm putting it in. I will leave this new vacuum sealer that I bought it off of Amazon, and I absolutely love it. I will tell you, it works great with my out-of-air bags, and it is just very nice. It is not bulky. It looks bulky, but it's not bulky, and it does wonders. See how it vacuums? Everything looks just so good. And I'm also doing a batch of just the veggies. The veggies I can use for any dinner that I don't want chicken, or if I want to pull it out and then chop it all up and add it to like a squash zucchini bread, I can do that. Or if you want to add it to a soup. So I do that in the smaller ones. I got 4 different sizes. I will link the video where I tested out all the different size of bags. And that way you can see it. And that way you can see how wonderful they truly do work. I mean, don't take my word for it right here because you're seeing it seal or nothing. But they are so wonderful, and I really am enjoying these bags, especially all the different sizes. So that's what I did with the vacuum sealing, is I vacuum sealed the veggies. You can see I did a bunch of different chickens. I did some salmons, and I did it with spinach too. I didn't know how I'd like the spinach, but I actually turned out that I liked it. All right, y'all, it's the next day, and you see the rice is frozen. So I'm going to pop these cubes out. This is the best part about having a silicone mold. Pop. There we go. And then I'm just going to put it in a gallon Ziploc bag. And that way I can go and I can grab a cup as I need the rice and put it in a bowl to reheat it. And it really does work wonderful. It's a healthy option. That way I'm not always having the processed rice. So I am really, really grateful that I learned that from Casey and Savannah. Another thing that I like to do is a lot of the powdered, freeze-dried, dehydrated stuff that I get from Azure Standard, I like to put in jars, and I do use oxygen absorbers. Now, I don't show that on the video, but y'all have seen that before, so I don't really need to show that. But I like to prep my cheese powders, my buttermilk powder, which I use for making ranch dressing. And I also have a coconut cream. I put all of my baking stuff in a certain area. But right now, because of the baking stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some granola, which is great for breakfasts or snacks. I'm using up some of the oats, and don't worry, I have a whole another half gallon of oats. I need to probably order some more oats in my next Azure order. If you haven't used Azure Standard before, I will always have a link down below, and I have a video on that too about my haul. It's a great company. It's a great family-owned company. You definitely want to check them out if you haven't before. But I will leave my granola recipe down in the show notes so I don't have to say it through because I can't really remember all the different measurements. But I'm using cane sugar. I'm using oats, rolled oats. I'm using coconut oil. That's the oil of choice that I prefer for my granola. I'm using a little bit of, what was that? Oh, that's what I used instead of the molasses because I was out of molasses to make brown sugar. So I used a little bit of corn syrup. I'm putting some honey in as a sweetener. I'm going to also put in a little bit of vanilla extract. Y'all know I do make my own vanilla extract. It's a little early right now, and I didn't bring any from the farm, so I need to get my booty in gear and start making some homemade vanilla extract for this holiday season, this upcoming holiday season. I'm going to add in some cinnamon, and I'm going to add some salt because it's going to be sweet and savory kind of taste, and it is so good, y'all. And I'm going to add in some crushed nuts. I like to do it in a Ziploc bag so I can slam it with a hammer. And with clean hands, I'm going to toss my oats to get everything incorporated so that it's nice and moist. You want it kind of like a, I don't want to say sand texture, but y'all know what I mean by you want all of the oats covered in that liquid and the seasoning. I'll put it onto a baking sheet and put it in 400. Again, I will leave the recipe down in the description so you know how long to cook it for. I'm also going to replace my blue corn. Y'all know I always get blue corn from Azure Standard because I love to make blue corn bread. It is so good. It is so good. And I got these wonderful, amazing gallon jars from my dear friend Monica over at Bland's Promised Land Ranch. And they work wonderfully for a lot of my stuff. I water glass in those too. But I'm shaking also all of my freeze-dried, dehydrated fruits that I got from Azure Standard. I add those to my granola. And this is my little section right here. I've got the cane sugar back up. I got my granola that I put back in there. That's just the dried rolled oats, my fruits. And behind that is the dehydrated lemon, limes, and oranges and marshmallows. I was on the struggle bus that day to move stuff, so I didn't want to break anything because I was just like that day. Flour and corn. So that is my kind of stock up prep, and I hope you enjoyed it. What are you stocking up right now? Leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear, but be sure also, again, if you have not, and if you like this content, click that subscribe button and the bell because YouTube will notify you when I put out new videos, which is very sporadic. There Miss Angel goes again. She always trying to get out. She's like, I'm free, but you're not. But also follow me on social media at Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, all at Ormsby Farms. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all. Be blessed.